He supports a ban on sale of assault weapons and high-capacity magazines and expanded background checks to keep guns out of the dangerous hands. He does not support a ban on the sale of all handguns, to answer your question.
Time out. Hello. Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. In today's episode, we have Fox News reporter, the Gladiator, yes folks, Peter Doocy, asking questions to White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre regarding Joe Biden's policy on banning certain firearms, as well as asking more questions regarding gas prices. As always, if you want to join us here at the Bald Brad Show, or heck, support a conservative, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Share this link with your friends and family all over social media. With that being said, let's jump into the clip.
Thank you, Karine. Canada is making it impossible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in that country. Would President Biden ever consider a similar restriction on handguns here?
So, we'll leave it up to other countries to set their policy on gun ownership. The president has made his position clear. The United States needs to act, as I just laid out. He supports a ban on sale of assault weapons and high-capacity magazines and expanded background checks to keep guns out of the dangerous hands. He does not support a ban on the sale of all handguns, to answer your question.
Time out. Hello. How were we just saying this casually? Like, oh, he supports all ban on assault weapons. What do you mean by that? You're just going to say assault weapons, but not define the terms here? And not all handguns? Well, what handguns you talking about? From my understanding, at least from what I've been trying to understand from the Democrats and progressive left, is that anything that is deemed scary looking is an assault weapon. Okay, you can have a 22 caliber rifle that looks scary and they'll want to ban it. So I don't know what they're talking about here. Joe Biden thinks that a 9mm bullet will blow your lung out of your body if you shoot somebody. Okay, and this is the guy that's defining the terms here. This is also the guy that thinks you couldn't have bought a cannon when the Second Amendment was in place. It's just the amount of idiocracy that's taking place here from the Democrat Party, and she's just coming up willy-nilly, like, oh, well, he wants to ban all assault weapons and, some handguns. Oh, we should want more extensive background checks. What does that mean, more extensive? I mean, I'm not against background checks. I just don't know what you mean by more extensive. Like, if it's not reported, if somebody has no reporting against them, if there's nothing there, I mean, how are you going to stop a shooting from happening? The guy hasn't been reported on. There's no criminal record or anything. The guy's not even on the books. So I'm just baffled here by this administration, completely baffled.
Okay, thank you. In some places in this country now, a gallon of gas costs more than people on the federal minimum wage are making in an hour. What does the White House want these people to do? Just stop driving to work?
Look, the president understands what it is.
I'm sorry. Don't you love how Peter Doocy just asks this question? What do you want them to do? Not drive to work? I love the guy. He's the gladiator. He's the GOAT. I'm telling you, he's not getting paid enough by Fox. He's not getting paid enough.
Deese just spoke about this. Brian Deese was just here and talked about how he understands what it means for people who are sitting at their kitchen table and see gas prices go up. He understands that feeling personally, or seeing prices of groceries go up in the grocery store. This is something that he is inherently aware of, and he's doing everything that he can. As Brian Deese was just here, his economic advisor, one of his top economic advisor, laying out what he is planning to do or continue to do to make sure that we lower costs at the gas pump. Brian also said that we are dealing with an unprecedented time with global challenges that we have never seen before. And that includes
Jimmy Carter, folks. I don't know about unprecedented times here. And for her to say like he's doing everything he can and he totally understands, I don't know if Biden does understand. I don't think he's with us. I don't even think he's the one coming up with a lot of this stuff. He's just there as a non-sentient human being just roaming around the White House. I don't think the dude has a clue.
It's clearly the pandemic that includes Putin's tax hike that we're seeing
Oh
this
my
past
God.
couple of months that has had an effect on gasoline prices. $1.50 went up since Putin has amassed his troops on the border of Ukraine. These are real,
We're going to talk about this. I'm going to show you a graphic in a moment because she's lying. Now, does Putin have a little bit to do with this? Absolutely. But when I show you the graph of the positive spike there before Russia ever invaded Ukraine, tells a different story.
global issues that has led to this moment. But the president is doing everything that he can to make sure that we address this issue.
And you just mentioned-
Whoa. No, he's not, folks. And let's show the graphic right now. This comes from Senator Ted Cruz. We did a video on this. Biden is driving up fuel prices himself. So if you look at the bottom left-hand corner there, January 20th, 2021, all the way to almost current day. Look at that increase. You could see in February 24th where Russia invades Ukraine. You wouldn't even feel the effects of that until maybe a little bit after, maybe looking into March. So all of that, the majority of the graph has everything to do with Biden. And he hasn't reversed a lot of it. So she's going to go on the podium and just say, oh, it's all Putin price hike. It's all his fault. Everything is his. It's complete BS. Complete bull. And she's going, well, he's doing everything he can. How? How is him removing leases? How is him putting in moratorium on oil drilling? Like, just look at it. How could you say this? Biden halts new oil and gas leases in January 27th. She's going to stand there and tell us with a straight face, hey, he's doing everything he can. Guys really put in a lot of effort, you guys. A lot of effort. He can't sleep. He can't eat. You know, he can't even remember things. God, this White House, man.
Putin a few times as a reason for recent inflation. Do you guys think that any part of inflation this year is because of President Biden's spending plans? Or
I've been wanting this question for so long. I feel like Peter Doocy and I are synced up with one another. I guarantee you here. I guarantee you she's not going to answer the question. Okay, she's corrupt like all the other mass media back there. She's corrupt. Mind you, she kind of is corrupt because she thinks that Fox News, the guy that the company that Peter Doocy works for, she thinks is racist. So if she thinks Fox News is racist and Peter Doocy is a white guy, cis white guy working for Fox News, he would be insto facto what? Racist himself. So she's taking question from racist. We all know Peter Doocy isn't racist, but I can't wait. She's not going to answer the question, folks. She's not going to do it. But I appreciate the question from Peter.
Or is it all Putin's fault?
Well, what I can say is we are, and Brian just spoke to this, we are at a historic place when it comes to the economy, when it comes to unemployment being at the lowest that we have seen in some time, when it comes to the president creating more jobs in his first term, his first year, than any other president, more than 8.
Lady, the government shut down the entire United States. People lost their jobs everywhere. And now you're, well, we created more jobs. You took them away. What do you mean you created them? You took them away and then people started going back to work. It's just like, and they're touting as if like, oh, it's a massive big deal. And we created all these jobs. Look at people are going back to work. Low unemployment. Well, yeah, things are finally opened back up. That's what you would expect. Jesus.
Jobs. Now we're going to a place where we're going into transition, where we're going to see an economy that's more stable, that's more steady. So that's because of the American Rescue Plan that
it's working out real well.
Signed into law that no Republican signed or voted for, I should say. And all of that work that he's done the first year has led us to a place where there are more jobs out there, more jobs are being created, that we are in a place where we're seeing economic growth. Now, and also, as I've stated, this is an unprecedented time with COVID. This is an unprecedented time with the war. And so that Putin
is she mixing COVID and Russians invasion of Ukraine like together? Because last I checked, we're in the middle of 2022 here and pretty much COVID is gone. It's kind of handled with. I mean, I understand there's cases arising, but for the most part, you're not seeing hospitals overloaded. You're not seeing mass deaths, as I'm aware of. Like, I'm talking mass deaths. So, I mean, she's kind of conflating the two together. I don't know why, but, you know, any sort of I don't know what you would call it, so illogical. I can't even come up with a word of her trying to mix things together and come up with some cockamamie story here to make it seem reasonable of how things are going. Well, the economy is expanding here, and we have a record number of jobs, and we see a brightful future here. It's like we're hearing the complete opposite from economists. We're hearing another recession's coming. A recession will probably last a couple of years. I mean, it's just, I'm not surprised by her nonsensical answers. It's just frustrating to have to deal with this day in and day out from the White House.
Has created and started on Ukraine. And so we have seen, data has shown us since these past couple of months, since the war, we have seen an uptick on gas prices.
So I guess the next question would be, does President Biden take any responsibility for his policies potentially contributing to inflation?
His policies has helped the economy get back on its feet. That's what his policies has done.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
When we talk about the gas prices right now, this is indeed Putin's gas hike. This is what we have seen in the most recent months of
It's like she knows.
The gas pump. And so
it's like she knows it bugs the hell out of me, and so she just keeps saying it.
That is a fact. We have seen about 60% increase in the past several months.
I hope you're all getting a kick out of this.
Because of the amassing and his invasion of Ukraine. And so the president, his goal right now and what he is frustrated about is what the American people have to go through and what they are trying to deal with as they are around their kitchen table. So that is his focus right now.
People eat this up, folks. People eat this up, and it's a bunch of hubbub. I mean, she's going to sit there on the podium and lie to us and not take any responsibility. There's no inkling of responsibility. And Peter Doocy phrased that great. And I've proposed the same exact question almost every single video we've done, either with her or with, oh my God, I forgot the freaking other Jen Psaki. I almost forgot about her. It's only been a couple of weeks. I missed the lady. I missed the content we had with her. I've been asking this question for months, since January. They're not going to answer it. They don't want to take any responsibility for any of the problems they've created. We've talked about it so many times, folks. And it's as if this, I know she doesn't watch the show, but it's as if she does. And she knows just which buttons to push with me. And it's just getting to me, folks. It's getting to me. But there you have it. Joe Biden wants to ban all assault weapons and only some handguns, folks. Only some handguns and more extensive background checks. Doesn't want to lay out the terms. Doesn't want to explain what the hell he's talking about, because I'm not so sure if he has a damn clue. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. I hope that you enjoyed this show. I hope you enjoyed seeing me get a little frustrated with Karine Jean-Pierre. I'm sure you were all frustrated as well. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and sharing this link with your friends and family all over social media. And folks, I will see you later today here on The Ball Brad Show.